In a lot of my previous videos, I've claimed that Chase Sapphire Reserve is one of the best credit cards in the segment that it operates. The card has a lot going for it. It gives you access to Priority Pass lounges and Chase Sapphire lounges, which are popping up everywhere. The card gives you a $300 travel credit, which is one of the easiest to use in the industry. The travel protections on the card are legit, and there are a bunch of DoorDash related benefits if you're into that. But the focus of this video is going to be slightly different, where we are going to make the argument as to why the Chase Sapphire Reserve may not be worth it. So let's understand how I'm going to make this argument. The first reason comes down to multipliers, or the lack thereof. With the card, you get 3x back on all travel purchases and 3x back on dining. And those are the only two categories where you can earn any sort of elevated value. For a card that costs that much, you should be able to use it as a one-card setup. The other competitor in the space is the Amex Platinum, and here the multipliers are even worse than the Chase Sapphire Reserve. You get 5x back on flights and 5x back on hotels. And to get the 5x back on hotels, you have to book it through the Amex portal. But this is a video about why the Chase Sapphire Reserve isn't worth it. You do get 10x back when you use Chase Dining and 10x back for hotels and car rentals when using Chase Travel. But I personally never use either of those portals for any sort of a booking. So in essence, the Chase Sapphire Reserve misses out on some really important categories like groceries and gas. And then when you look at the Capital One Venture X, where you get 2x back for everything, the Chase Sapphire Reserve looks even worse because the Capital One Venture X comes with a much lower annual fee at $395. The second reason why the Chase Sapphire Reserve may not be worth it is down to what it learned from American Express. And that is a setup like a coupon book. Now, American Express gets a lot of flack for how it sets up most of its credit cards in the form of a coupon book, where you have to spend X amount of money on a particular service or product to earn Y dollars back and to make sense of the annual fee on the card. How's the Chase Sapphire Reserve any different? Because it has a bunch of these DoorDash benefits thrusted into it. You get $5 every single month towards food orders. You get two $10 credits towards groceries. Then you get Dash Pass membership. It almost feels like it's not a credit card by Chase, but a credit card by DoorDash. And if you look at the effective annual fee on the credit card, the $550 annual fee is subsidized by the $300 travel credit, which I mentioned is very easy to use. But to make sense of the rest of the credit card, you have to be able to use the DoorDash credits to come out ahead. And I don't know if that actually makes sense for most people. Now, you might force yourself to use DoorDash, but that's you spending more to use credits on a credit card, and that's generally not a good strategy. The third reason comes down to what the younger brother of the Chase Sapphire Reserve can accomplish. I'm talking about the Chase Sapphire Preferred. The Chase Sapphire Preferred comes with a lower annual fee, better multipliers because it gives you 3x back on online groceries. It gives you access to the same travel partners as the Chase Sapphire Reserve. And the effective annual fee on the credit card comes down to $45, and that's down to the $50 hotel credit that you get when booking through the Chase Travel portal. The only significant difference comes down to lounges. The Chase Sapphire Reserve gives you access to Priority Pass as well as Chase Sapphire lounges, whereas the Chase Sapphire Preferred does not give you access to lounges. Another excellent benefit that you get with the Chase Sapphire Preferred is the 10% anniversary boost. Chase will add 10% more to all the points you've accumulated during a card member year. The fourth reason why the Chase Sapphire Reserve may not be worth it is down to its intro offers. The card gets you 60,000 points after you spend $4,000 in the first 3 months of card ownership. And this is no different than the Chase Sapphire Preferred, where too, you'll earn the same number of points for the same amount of spend. For a card that's so much higher in the annual fee for any other card provider, you would be expecting a higher intro offer, especially when the effective fee on the annual card can be very high if you do not use DoorDash. You can make the same argument about Capital One, where the Venture X and the Capital One Venture card have the same intro offer of 75,000 points after $4,000 in the first 3 months of card ownership. But here's the thing, the effective annual fee on the Capital One Venture X is positive $5 to you as the user. And if you look at Amex, the American Express Platinum card has a higher intro offer than the American Express Gold card. So Chase, if you're listening, think about separating out the intro offers on both of these cards. The fifth and the final reason comes down to no hotel status with the card. The American Express Platinum card is expensive with an annual fee of $695. Then you have a bunch of coupon-like benefits thrown into the card, so unless you know how to use each one of them, you do not know if you're extracting enough value to make the card worth your while. But here is what the American Express does really, really well. It gives you gold status across Hilton as well as Marriott properties. That may not sound like much when you're traveling within the US, but it really matters when you're traveling outside of the US. There was one time where I flew from New York to Mumbai and then checked into the JW Marriott in Mumbai. And back then, I did not have the Marriott Bonvoy Brilliant card, which gives me access to platinum status with Marriott. I only had the American Express Platinum card that gave me gold status. And in spite of that, I got upgraded. That was special because I had been on a flight for 16 hours straight. If you look at the Chase Sapphire Reserve in contrast to the American Express Platinum, you still have coupon-like benefits with DoorDash, but you do not get hotel status like the American Express Platinum. And if I had to design program benefits for this card, I would offer silver or gold status for Marriott because Chase also ties up with Marriott, and Discover status with Hyatt. Now I know that's not that easy because there are agreements between these corporations as to what they can and cannot do, but given the competitive space in the credit card ecosystem, it's absolutely something Chase should pursue. So there you have it. Those are the 5 reasons as to why the Chase Sapphire Reserve may not be worth it. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one.